Alright, what is up guys, it is Storm back here with another video, and in this one, I am bringing you part 6 to Mightless, a My Hero Academia story by the Mysterious Banana. Now, if you want to go check this story out for yourself, it'll be linked down below. But before we begin, if you like the content you're seeing, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I mean, they're all free, so why not? If you want some dope channel merch, the link to that will be down in the description below. If you want to see more of me, go check out my other channels, and go follow me on Twitter and Instagram, which will all be linked down below. But without further ado, why don't we just dive right on in. Izuku woke up back at home, trying to figure out what happened last night. He remembered meeting with the League of Villains, getting recruited into their Vanguard Action Squad, and partying the night away. He was about to get up until he realized there was something heavy on him, and looked down to notice a significant bulge in his blanket. Curious, he unveiled it and nearly screamed. Under his covers, he found Himiko, half naked, hugging his bare chest, and felt her rub her cheek on his abdomen. Izuku murmured a half-asleep Himiko. "Toga?" Izuku yelled out. Himiko looked upwards at Izuku's shocked face and blew him a kiss. She placed his finger on his abdomen and traced it up his lips. "Shh, we don't want to wake up Mom, do we?" asked Toga. "Toga, what are you doing here?" asked Izuku. "It was lonely where I live, so I thought of following you back to your place," answered Himiko. "But how?" "I slit your mother's neck and walked into your room." Toga cut Izuku off. "You did what?" Izuku yelled, shocked. "Just kidding, silly. I broke into your room through your window. You're gonna be our spy after all, so we need to make sure you have a normal life to mask your secret career," explained Himiko. "That's why you haven't killed her yet, right? It's not like she would just accept the fact that you're a villain." Izuku thought about it and found that Toga was right. Ingo never wanted to see him turn to the dark side and might end up getting in the way. Izuku clutched his blanket. It was decided. If his mother knows too much, he will personally execute her. "Alright, Himiko, you had your fun. Now get yourself dressed, cause you're leaving," ordered Izuku with authority. "Not so fast, Izuku. I'm here to tell you Tomura wants you to participate in a, let's say, initiative mission to train you before you get to the Yuuei entrance exams," explained Toga. "Well, you could have written me a letter, but okay, what do I have to do?" Izuku asked. Toga handed him a USB key. "It'll take too long for me to tell you, but all the instructions are in this, so don't lose it," Toga said, heading for the window. Still in her underwear, which made Izuku blush. "Oh, and by the way," Toga turned back to Izuku. "Congrats on last night," she said in a jokish tone, leaving Izuku with bulged eyes, wondering if she meant it or not. As Izuku came down the stairs, he saw his mother Ingo making breakfast. "Hey Mom," Izuku said. "Good morning, honey," Ingo said in her usual tone. "Mom, stop calling me honey, it's embarrassing," Izuku said. "Now, I don't want to be a wet towel or anything, but do you have anything planned today?" asked Ingo. "Well, yeah," Izuku said, who was taken by surprise. Did his mother have something planned today? Whatever it is, he cannot let it get in his way. This was his shot to prove his worth to the League, and the mere thought of postponing it for his mom made him nervous. For a brief moment, killing her came to mind. Izuku's eye had already went to full analysis mode, analyzing weak points, vital organs, and possible approaches. She was just full of openings. Fighting his urge, Izuku asked, yeah, actually why?" asked Izuku. "Because you might have to postpone it, sweetie. I know it's sad, but don't worry. Because the good news is, you're gonna see an old friend," Ingo said, trying to cheer him up. "A friend?" asked Izuku. Ingo gave him a warm smile. "Remember Katsuki? His mother and him are coming over today," Ingo said. "What?" Izuku slammed both his hands on the table. This was outrageous. Even if he wasn't a villain, he would be pissed off at the news. Not even saying a word, he got up and ran to his room. "Izuku, I get it if you're upset. I'm sorry, Izuku." Ingo yelled to no response. Back in his room, Izuku slammed the door and then proceeded to punch his wall, leaving a dent in the shape of a fist in it, but also really hurting his hand. This was unbelievable. "Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. I can't believe I could be this unlucky. Not even in my wildest dreams," Izuku yelled, as he thrashed onto his bed. Eventually getting tired, he turned to his back, staring blankly at the ceiling. He then turned towards the USB for a few minutes. "Might as well take a look," Izuku said, loading the key into his laptop. It was a PDF map of the mall he attacked Lauriel in. Apparently, they were going to test out a prototype of these things called Nomus that were artificial humans with multiple quirks, and he was going to be the observer, analyzing its weakness and flaws that need rework, and also to observe new debuting heroes, and their quirks and weaknesses to exploit. The Nomu, according to the plans, cannot actually think and act by instinct. They also have a list of people, including him, implanted into his brain. Those people's orders he will obediently follow. Anyone else, he'll kill. But then he noticed that attached to the PDF was a list of the rest of the vanguards and their quirks, and it was a quirk of the girl he just met, Himiko Toga, that made him leap with joy. Himiko Toga, age 14. Quirk, shapeshifter. He can now use her to pose as him during the dinner and complete his mission. Relieved that they were still away, he knew he needed to hurry. Stuffing his outfit into his backpack, he ran downstairs and towards the door. Izuku, where are you going? Asked Inko, noticing that he was leaving. Gotta go to the mall to buy a gift for Kachan, answered Izuku, heading out. Aw, you must really like the kid, Inko said, seeing him off. He needed to hurry as it wasn't long until Kachan shows up. He needed to be ready. He quickly headed towards the subway, where he sent a text to Toga's supposed phone, telling her to meet up. Minutes went by, and Izuku felt a tap on the shoulder, turning around to meet Toga face to face. The subways are a pretty odd place to ask a girl out, don't you think? Asked Toga. It's not about a date. Look, I need you to pose as me so that I can attend my mission without hindrance, Izuku explained. Toga smiled. Of course. Anything for my sweetie, Toga said while pulling Izuku closer. I'm really starting to doubt this is a good idea, Izuku thought. Look, Toga, there'll be a guest at my house today. A childhood friend, so I don't want you to act in a way that attracts his attention, Izuku said. Sure thing. Acting is what I do best. Just tell me what's your relation with the guy, Toga asked. His name is Katsuki Bakugo, but call him Kachan. He's used to me calling him that. Also, he always addressed me as Deku, so be wary of that as well, Izuku explained. Toga's expression changed. Why would he give you such a nickname? Toga asked in a cold tone. Izuku blushed in embarrassment. He was kinda a bully to me from my childhood to today. He kept on picking on me because I was quirkless, Izuku explained. Toga's face shifted in anger as she hugged Izuku in a sort of aggressive way. Tell me where he lives. I'll kill him. I'll make him my personal pincushion. No one will bully my Izuku, she said. Izuku hugged her and took up a more dominant and commanding voice. Himiko, I know you're technically my superior and that I should respect you, which I do, but... Toga's eyes widened as Izuku swiftly took the knife she hid under her skirt and held it at the back of her neck. He's mine to kill, so if you so much as leave a cut on his pinky finger, well, I think you get the message, Izuku said, licking the sweat off her neck. Tastes bitter, like fear. I was wondering if you could feel that emotion. Izuku then backed up, hands still on her shoulders as his dead, hollow eyes turned green and lively. Well, good luck with your mission. And wish me luck as well, Izuku said, flashing a lively smile and running off. Toga dropped to her knees, rubbing her nape, where Izuku had licked her. I didn't know you had such a sadistic dark side, Izuku, Toga said, suddenly blushing madly and shaking like a schoolgirl as hearts formed in her pupils. That just makes me more into you. It was around 12 p.m. when Toga, disguised as Izuku, came back home. Izuku, you're back. Buy anything? Asked Inko in her usual cheerful tone. Nah, I couldn't find anything for Kachan liked, Toga said. Oh, that's too bad, but don't worry, I think Katsuki will understand. In fact, here they are, Inko said as the doorbell suddenly rang. Hey, Inko, long time no see, Mitsuki said, coming through the door. Ah, Mitsuki, welcome, and I noticed little Katsuki's there. No, Inko tried to look behind her but saw nothing. Ah, right, hold on, Mitsuki said in a calm fashion before turning back to her car. Katsuki Bakugo, get the fuck out of the fucking car, you lazy sack of shit, she yelled, attracting the whole neighborhood. I told you I ain't budging from my spot, you old hag. So unless you can rip the car seat off and drag me here, I'm staying put, yelled Katsuki, back at his mom. Mitsuki turned to Inko calmly. Sorry, but can you excuse me for a minute, asked Mitsuki as she walked towards the car. Mom, what are you doing? Mom, stop! Before Katsuki could finish, the car seat was ripped out of the car. Mitsuki carried him towards the house, while Toga and Inko just watched in the distance. Wonder how things are going on Izuku's end, Toga thought. At the Naruhara shopping district where Izuku was instructed to go, he followed the instruction he unloaded to his phone and went on the glass room at the center of the mall. There, he found a package. Opening it, there was a radio, along with 2 submachine guns, ammo, ropes, a crowbar, and a remote to detonate the bomb inside the Nomu, so that the heroes can't dissect it. Attached to the package was a note. Supplies for the road. We even packed your lunch. Izuku sighed, recognizing the handwriting. Of course you would, Toga, he said. Turning on the radio, an alarm was signaled back at home base. He's arrived, Tomura said. Kurogiri, now. Suddenly, A black portal opened behind Izuku, as the previously mentioned Nomu came out of it. It was humanoid, but had one disproportionately huge right arm. Right off the bat, there were some serious flaws that he could see, some notably that the fact that its fucking brain was exposed. "Geez, you have a face only a mother can love," Izuku commented, "but you're nothing but a test subject, so I'll let it slide. Now get down there and cause as much havoc as possible. Make sure not to kill anyone, because they could be used as hostages for my escape should things go south. All I need you to do is attract as many pro heroes, especially the more experienced ones, to fight you. If you die, you die. Otherwise, I'll just report to Tomura that the test was successful," ordered Izuku. "Got it?" Nomu nodded as its left arm shifted into a hammer and smashed the glass ceiling, descending into the center of the shopping district. Moments before the incident, a girl walked along the shops, admiring the multitude of clothes and jewelry. The girl had short hair and an eye patch. This was Quinn Hachisuka, part-time villain. Her usual acts of villainy: spreading chaos. How? Using a certain quirk enhancement drug called Trigger, which drastically increases one's quirk, turning them into uncontrollable monsters. She was just about to pull this routine in the middle of a crowded shop until a strange-looking creature came crashing down the room. "What the hell is that?" asked Quinn as people fled in panic. She watched from a distance as the monster rampaged around the shop, smashing down walls and plants while emitting a piercing roar. "Well, I guess someone did the job for me," Quinn said, "but who?" She decided to activate her quirk, Queen Bee. The quirk unleashes a swarm of mind-controlled bees at their opponent and can be used for scouting. She needed to know who was behind the attack. As the bees searched the shops, the beast found himself face to face with some pro heroes. "Yes, the heroes are here, we're saved," cheered the crowd. She then witnessed that the monster began to eat the debris. Just then, its arm turned into a cannon fire that consumed debris of the heroes. His arm then turned into a hammer and swung at the now weakened heroes. "The thing has multiple quirks. Who in the world can make such a thing?" Quinn asked. Suddenly, something caught her attention and she smiled, looking at the opening where the monster came from. "Found you." With Izuku, the Nomu had gone out of his sight, and most of the mall had evacuated. Taking some rope out of the package, he descended into the wrecked mall to observe the Nomu from up close, beginning to take notes. Let's see, his quirks are Hammer Hand, Arm Cannon, Strength Enhancement, and Boost his stamina. Not bad, but he needs a quirk to compensate for his low mobility, something like a Jet Booster quirk, Izuku noted, writing it down in his notebook. "Well, aren't you just adorable?" a voice said that nearly made Izuku jump. Turning around, he saw a girl with short hair and eye patch wearing a tight jacket. Who are you?" "No ordinary citizen would just stick around while that monster over there is around," Izuku pointing to the Nomu, now swinging around the unconscious body of one of the heroes. "I was interested. Say, how does one make one of those things?" Quinn asked. "I don't know, and even if I did, I wouldn't tell you," Izuku answered. Quinn flashed a villainous smile. "Well, guess you're not interested in this then," she said, holding up a syringe filled with a blackish substance. "What is that?" Izuku asked. A bee landed on Izuku's shoulders. Quinn's smile grew larger. "Why don't you find out?" she said as the beast stung his stinger into Izuku's flesh, making him wince in pain. "Ow, what was that for?" Izuku asked, unaffected. What? How?" Quinn asked in shock. "The drug should have force-triggered your quirk, making you a nigh-unstoppable killing machine like that thing over there," she said, pointing to the Nomu, now getting dogpiled by 4 heroes at once. "Oh, so that's what it does," Izuku said, smiling in content. "Hey Nomu, shoot this girl, would you?" The Nomu heard its master's orders, and despite the heroes holding him down, he aimed at Quinn and shot a ball of rubble at her. Seeing the upcoming barrage, she swiftly dodged out of the way, but a gunshot was heard as the girl looked down, finding a bullet hole in her stomach. You quirkless son of a bitch!" Quinn yelled out in anger. Suddenly a syringe flew through the smoke and stabbed her in the right knee. She looked down in a hint of panic. "You dropped it when the monster fired at you." "I thought I'd give it back," Izuku said. You, Quinn stuttered as her mind started to slip away. "No, gotta fight it. Got to fight." Quinn began to transform, ripping her jacket apart as she slowly became a queen bee. Izuku noticed that her jacket was ripping. Several vials clanked to the floor containing the same liquid. "Oh yeah, jackpot," Izuku said, running towards the fallen flask, most of which were already shattered. "Come back here," Quinn yelled as she charged at Izuku. Suddenly the Nomu sensed that his master was under attack and jumped back towards Izuku to save him. "Look, another monster, and this one's attacking a child," cried some of the heroes that were still up. As the two monsters clashed, Izuku quickly ducked under the chaos and retrieved the vials. Suddenly, a rogue kicks into flying into one of the broken down H&N stores, flying through the glass and breaking one of the vials. Izuku felt blood running down his head as his vision was slightly blurry. Looking at his jacket, it was covered in a black substance. Let's hope Tomura can recreate this drug, cause there's not much left, Izuku said, stumbling up. Looking out the window, he saw that both the heroes and the news reporters were closing in. Then he suddenly remembered. He was supposed to be back home. If they see him on TV by chance, the cover would be blown. He couldn't let that happen. So without thinking twice in a rush of adrenaline, he made a beeline for the exit as the heroes were almost there. What a wonderful dinner you made, Mitsuki said. Right, Bakugo? Bakugo still seatbelted to the car seat. Mitsuki ripped out, simply let out a grunt, not wanting to look bad in front of a childhood friend. She sucked it up and carried on. Come on, Kachan, it's not like this is a trip to the dentist. Lighten up, Toga said, still disguised as Izuku. Katsuki turned to Toga and gave her the death stare. So, he plays the tough guy, huh? No matter. Even the toughest of toughs have a breaking point, Toga thought. Oh, I know how to cheer you up, exclaimed Toga, moving his seat to the living room. Izuku, where are you going? Inko asked. Kachan's been stuck in his seat with his expression up for this entire time. I thought I would lighten him up for a bit. Katsuki turned to Izuku. Hey, what the fuck are you? Shh, just relax, Kachan. Toga cut him off. Just sit back and relax. Toga placed her hands on Katsuki's sides. Katsuki, seeing this, tried to fight back. Just then, Toga started to tickle him. Stop, Deku, please. Katsuki thrashed around helplessly, trying to undo his seatbelt. Toga started to laugh at him, her face turning more and more psychotic. Aw, they're playing, Inko said, charmed. Izuku barely made it out of the shop and limped towards the roof, exhausted and busted up. Alright, now where's that remote? Izuku said, fumbling around inside the package. Ah, there it is. I reckon your mission was a success, said a familiar voice. Even better. I hit a gold mine while on this mission. I think you'll be quite pleased, Izuku said, not even turning around. Oh, you found something of value? Tomura asked. Izuku turned around, handing him the vial. Can you try and replicate this substance? Izuku asked. Tomura examined the black liquid. Seems doable. Why? Tomura asked. Izuku pressed the remote, as a huge ball of flame lit up in the mall, setting it ablaze. Screams can be heard as heroes scrambled about, trying to maintain order. Because that will be the amount of damage one Nomu can do, if we can utilize this drug. Tomura smiled. You have my interest, Tomura said. Good. Now tell your Kurogiri dude to send me home. I have some things to sort out and some work to finalize, Izuku said. 愛してる